A very good evening once again. Thank you for joining us for the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold and it's going to be an hours-long bulletin, so do sit tight when I'll give you the news in detail. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has expressed appreciation for the religious leaders for their staunch stance against the vice of corruption. He conveyed this sentiment in his Easter message sent out from his home in Rachitura. Museveni emphasized the importance of tackling corruption, urging the leaders to persist in their efforts, adding that the corrupt are parasites that impede and undermine the NRM's transformation endeavors. The president highlighted the existing structures with local governments, such as elected local councils, as potential tools for holding officials accountable. However, he expressed concern that the structures were not being utilized effectively. He called on for increased vigilance and more active role in ensuring transparency within communities. The president also cited land grabbing as a specific area where better coordination between local administrative, political, security and religious entities could address corruption concerns. Furthermore, the president also urged religious leaders to promote the gospel of wealth creation, noting that the NRM's formula for wealth creation is well elaborated and that some religious leaders are actively involved in creation. Lovely always to see the president drive himself. Now, the Archbishop of Kampala Archdiocese, Right Reverend Paul Samogedere, has decried corruption, gun violence, and land grabbing as some of the vices eating up Uganda today. This was contained in his Easter message as hundreds stand up for the day's celebrations, calling on congregants to maintain clear-headed spiritual lifestyles. The Mass was graced by Uganda's Minister for Higher Education, John Chrysostom Moyingo, who decried increased accidents and environmental destruction.
People of all walks of life were part of the Easter Sunday prayers at Lubaga Cathedral. From cultural, political and religious leaders, as well as business operators, all were here to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Oba mwazuukira ne Kristo mufe ku bya waggulu eyo Kristo gy'ali ng'atudde ku gwa ddyo ogwa Katonda.
As the choir did what they usually do best, burning in many other leaders' minds were challenges affecting the Ugandan society today. Land grabbing and intolerance were some that the Archbishop cited.
And we mentioned corruption, intolerance, gun violence, land grabbing, and other injustices that we witness today. These are contrary to the gospel values of righteousness, peace, and integrity.
Similar messages were carried by other leaders. State Minister for Higher Education, John Chrysostom Moyingo, decried increased accidents and environmental destruction.
Ku Lwomukaaga navudde Nakasongola ku ssaawa nga 9 okutuuka e Kampala nalabye accidents zaabadde nga 5 naye nga zonna ziva ku ki? Careless driving. Kiva ku ki? Kuvuga ndiima. Njagala mumanyi nti obulamu bw'Abannayuganda bwa mugaso nnyo, buli very valuable gye tuli tubukuume awatali kubonyaabonya Bannayuganda. Ogwokubiri gwe njagala tukyawe era tuvumirire. Muwulidde tubali tubyogerako corruption. Ffe ng'Abakatuliki, nga Christians, ng'abakkiriza mu Christ eyazuukidde, tutandike okuboola abantu abo.
As for Buganda Kingdom, the message of the Kabaka was delivered by the Katikiro Emeritus, Joseph Mulwanyamuli Semogerere.
Era ebibalo biraga nti district ezaali 10 mu Buganda nga ze zaali singa okubeeramu obulwadde bwa mukenyenya kakati zaafuuka 3. Kino kiragira ddala okugenda mu maaso mu ggwanga lyonna mu lutalo olw'okulwanyisa n'okusaasaanya mukenenya. Tukubiriza abantu baffe mu ggwanga lyonna twongeremu amaanyi mu lutalo olw'okukendeeza n'okusaasaana kwa siriimu.
To address all these, it will take spiritual and physical commitment of all stakeholders.
Let the self-discipline and the spiritual growth cultivated during Lent inspire us to lead lives characterized by virtue, holiness, and generosity throughout the year.
Tweze obujja mu kwagalana, mu kusonyiwagana, naye n'okusingira ddala mu kutambulira mu mazima n'obwenkanya. Ekyo nno kitufuule abakatuliki abalungi abasaanidde okusembera ku mmeeza y'Omukama.
Henry Okrut, UBC.
The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Samuel Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, has cautioned Christians against being greedy with earthly things as it was with Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Jesus that saw his death. Kazimba Mugalu conveyed this in his Easter sermon message to Christians at All Saints Cathedral in Nakasero as Christians celebrated the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
He rose is no longer among the dead. These, among other words, have been on the lips of Christians across the world as they welcome the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. And the situation was not different at All Saints Cathedral, Nakasero. Christians who gathered in big numbers at the cathedral worshipped and danced for Jesus Christ, for saving humanity from the shame of sin when he defeated death. His Grace Dr. Samuel Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, who was the main preacher, cautioned the Christians over being greedy with the earthly things.
So we shouldn't actually focus our eyes on these earthly things, because what come may will go one day. But the good news is he, our Lord, rose from the dead. And now when you focus our eyes unto him, we are alive with him. And one day we will be with him. This is not our home. This world is not our home.
Kazimba adds that being greedy, this has led many Ugandans to develop and participate in vices such as corruption, land grabbing, among others.
I tell you, when we have our eyes focused on God, he will intervene when nobody is there. He will come in when you are disappointed. He will always meet you at the point of your needs when nobody is there. So we shouldn't be lured into doing something bad because of having our eyes focused on earthly things. They are good, but temporary.
Archbishop Kazimba with this urged Christians to change their behaviors as they meditate the resurrection of Jesus Christ unto their lives.
It's about focusing our eyes onto things above, not on earthly things. Earthly things are good, but they perish. They perish. The one whom we are remembering today, Jesus Christ, who rose from the dead, is an assurance for our resurrection, is an assurance for our hope. So our hope is not in earthly things, but in him who rose from the dead.
In attendance in the service were ministers, among others David Bahati, State Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, the then Prime Minister John Patrick Amama Mbabas, Sam Kahamba Kuteesa, Kano Edith Nakalima, the head of State House Investors Protection Unit.
In this world, we need to not to steal, not to oppress others, but we should all work hard.
Deborah Namamonde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.
And Christians have also been urged to emulate Jesus Christ's message of love and compassion through sacrifice. The Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, the Right Reverend Moses Banja, says that overzealous love for money can be a source of evil and advised Christians to avoid too much indulgence in material wealth. This was contained in his sermon to hundreds of Christians during Easter Sunday at Namirembe Cathedral in Kampala.
Namirembe Diocese, the Right Reverend Moses Banja, has reassured Christians that the resurrection of Jesus Christ is a source of hope for all Christians seeking for quality life. This was contained in his sermon to hundreds of Christians that turned up for Easter Sunday service at Namirembe Cathedral to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Engineer Bossa Ruomwa, who was murdered in that manner, and we hear that those who did that were young people, would have given him respect. But they don't understand because they were not brought uprightly. Now I urge the parents to go back and strengthen our children.
Bishop Banja advised Christians to embrace the benefits of Jesus Christ's resurrection and renew their faith. He criticized false prophets for hurting those seeking redemption and righteousness. Reverend Banja denounced overzealous love for money, emphasizing that material wealth is not good enough for one to enjoy life on earth.
All those happen because people want to get money. Greed has brought about these actions. Love of things is the beginning of all iniquity.
The Speaker for Buganda Luchiko, Patrick Luwaga, delivered Katikiro Charles Peter Maiga's Easter message to the Christians, advising all people to celebrate Easter season consciously to avoid regrets. Luwaga urged members of parliament and other politicians to represent their electorate instead of fronting their individual interests.
We urge politicians to be careful and take forward the theme they depended on to come and represent us in Parliament. Let them present the issues they were sent to do, but not to prioritize their individual interests.
I'm Nafka Farida and Aguta Philip in Kampala.
The Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has challenged Christians to renew the fight against poverty and improve household incomes. She was at Nabanja, St. Joseph Igayaza Catholic Town Parish in Igayaza Town Council, Koal District, to celebrate Easter.
The Prime Minister appealed to families to work together and create wealth through government programs such as PDM and Emyoga.
I want to implore our people, especially the families, the family heads, the husbands and wives, to work together for development so that they can have income in their homes, home income, homestead income. And so you need to work and do things, especially for us who are farmers. The land is becoming fragmented.
The parish priest, Igayaza Catholic Town Parish, Reverend Father John Mary Kugonza, lauded President Yoweri Museveni for entrusting Nabanja with the responsibility of Prime Minister. He described Nabanja as a hard-working person who loves God and has never abandoned her church.
Tekereza His Excellency akarolera habwekambi bwawe okukwasa omulimo guno gwa Prime Minister kigwanguhire so nkusima habo wekambi bwawe kandi okukora na amani yakutweki okurora aho kyamani muno kugonza ekelezia yawe kugonza ruhanga wawe kandi nokioleka utakukisereka
Leaders in Igayaza Town Council, led by LC3 Chairperson John Baruli, congratulated the Prime Minister.
Ntusima muno Prime Minister waitu byakolera parish eno muno omukombeka parish eno ombikwato kwombeka makerezia
so no tukoza kusimira President weihanga Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ruhembo gwenzura webale kutwera Prime Minister waitu kumwongera ekisanja kandi kusaba omugumize nera.
Meanwhile, at Birembo Trading Center, Nabanja met residents who had waited to congratulate her. Nabanja later addressed the residents and urged them to avoid mob justice but report to authorities any suspected criminals.
Government ekusigana evunana abamwisi kandi ekizibu ekyo kigenda abebembezi banyu chairman LC1 chairman LC3 kansara banyu nibo bakaferamu ati ali runu kansara wanyu ono chairman wanyu LC3 bakangamba muri baitiro omusajja akayibembuzize batu akasangwa ali na minister na muyangu nyamuhoko akaja kuchora omuntu bakumazira ikorachi kumwita.
Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Bariomonsi, has called for unity, love and togetherness among believers in Kayungwe sub-county as they celebrated their Easter season. He emphasizes that emulating what Jesus did is a sign of honor and respect for the principles of God. The minister contributed towards the construction of Kayungwe Church of Uganda House with 30 bags of cement and all the iron sheets needed for roofing.
I think the contribution that minister has given us, it can help us to start the foundation, and we need some other materials like iron sheets, which is counted like 135, and we need some cements, which is like 250, and otherwise. So this contribution that he has given us, it can help us to start the foundation.
Twege rukundo ukundana tende kushorora omuntu numworo banumugeiga banumukeyikuru banumunyeto oba arije ringa tarije abantu bakunde tukundane oba nashobe dini yawe tari we dini yawe oba no ruganda rwawe tari wo ruganda rwawe twena tujya abantu baruhanga dushemerere okujanjaza rukundo agadiye twajanjaza rukundo ejo nibuge turaye twayikiriza Yesu yaturagirire n'ikiyatusigire nibwe turi kwa tuyikiriza Yesu kuno mujuni aho kwakija kujuna twena kandi yagira ngo tugire rukundo nemanyisa ki nemanyisa okwatanisa na mugenzi wawe okubagana ecyo uri kuboyine nawe.
Worship and praise has filled Easter Sunday as Christians celebrated the Holy Feast. Our reporters were to Pentecostal churches to catch the proceedings at various sites. Let's have a look.
At House of Prayer Ministries, the lead pastor Aloysius Bujingo wants the faithful never to forget their roots that are made worthwhile by Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection.
I want to encourage Ugandans always to remember, even in your marriages, even at your place of work, remember why you came to work so that you give proper services. God bless you. I wish you a happy resurrection season of remembering everything that is right, and remember right and do right.
He commended government for its inclusive approach towards religion that plays a big part in uniting the nation.
We are employers, we give people employment. There is a development that is coming from the church. But again, I reminded ourselves that we had no titles. What we had was love. was love, was the spirit of brotherhood. We were brethren, all of us. But today when you look at everything, it's not the way how it was.
To the youth, he advised government programs to fight poverty and avoid politics of division. At Caring Heart Victory Community Church, Kagula Hill in Kakiri, Wakiso District, State Minister for Lands Dr. Sam Mayanja was the main celebrant. His sermon focused on teachings from the Bible but took time to assure Ugandans about the land question and declared government's position.
Therefore, the security of tenure for every Ugandan titled holder or non-titled holder, security of tenure in perpetuity. You, Kiwanja holder who has no kiapa, be sure there is going to be a law which will streamline Bibanja holders and minor holders, so that there are not two people claiming the same piece of land under the same law.
Pastor Paul Musisi commended the faithful for their resilience while seeking God, whom he says never disappoints. During prayers at Worship Harvest in Gayaza, Pastor Beatrice Benyama and to a congregation that included NRA mobilizer Rosemary Seninde advised involvement in income-generating projects to fight poverty.
If we repent, then I believe God will be with us and will be able to guide us in all that we do and all that we desire, that will help us do good to promote our country and promote ourselves.
For the youth who doesn't know, His Excellency, during the years he came, all the time he was on plane going to different countries, connecting Uganda for development. And many people now are rich because of his effort.
Bishop Samuel Luandasa of Mount Lebanon reminded the members to seek first the kingdom of God. At CDMI Church in Korolo, Pastor Mike Kimuli led the proceedings. Meanwhile, from Jinja, the vicar of St. James Church, Agrekasada, has told Christians to avoid deceit and negative acts. He preached hope in the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Easter means victory over death, because our Lord Jesus Christ was killed and buried, and the world thought that was the end of him.
At All Saints Church, Walukuba, Reverend Cyprian Mugabi said that the resurrection of Jesus should wash away people's fears amidst challenges.
Jesus Christ risen from the dead, he emphasized to the women that took perfume to his grave that fear not. Members, I don't know what you've been fearing, but once you have Christ Jesus, you don't need to fear.
He told Christians to be strong in faith.
The Minister of State for Youth and Children Affairs, Balam Barugahara, and Helen Seku, the Commissioner General of Patriotism, have called upon Christians to lead the call to end corruption and misuse of government funds. The two have celebrated Easter with communities of Butebo District.
Christians in Butebo District have made it to different worship houses to celebrate this year's Easter. At St. Peter's Church of Uganda, Nasoleta in Butebo District, the Sunday prayer service has been attended by, among others, the newly appointed Minister in charge of Youth and Children Affairs, Balam Barugahara, accompanied by the Commissioner General in charge of Patriotism Secretariat, Helen Seku.
We chose to come and pray from Butebo today because it's part of
Uganda, that is one. And in our analysis, Butembo is one of the districts that are affected by early child marriages and poverty.
As a Minister of Youth and Children Affairs, I belong to Uganda. I don't belong to Masindi or to Kampala. So we are supposed to reach out to communities. So I wanted to spread the message of peace and message of prosperity, message of unity, and message of patriotism from His Excellency, the President of Uganda, to the young people of Butembo. As you are aware, Butembo is one of the districts affected with forced early child marriage and poverty. So the only way you can get people out of poverty is educating them.
The two are spreading the gospel of development among Christians.
The PDM, Parish Development Model, they should get this money and utilize it for good use to develop themselves. We are also telling the parents that do not allow these petty gifts and you give away your children in early marriage, a child of 12 years.
Also the President asked us to let people know, the young people, to take part in government program, in PDM and Myoga and all these other programs. He also cautioned them not to use that money for marriage, because most of them, instead of business, they are investing in marriage.
However, the Christians are also being reminded to lead the fight against corruption.
And also fight corruption from its grassroots. We got a report that in Butembo, if you're a teacher to be put on government payroll, you must pay through those district committees. To join police, everything is about corruption and bribery in Butembo district. We have come to say no to corruption and bribery in this district, and we shall give back the report to His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
Barnum is also thankful to God for elevating him and his principal, General Muhoozi Rugaba.
I want to thank God for allowing the President to appoint me as his minister. And I want to thank the same God who has enabled the President to appoint my chairman of Patriotic League Uganda, a league of patriots, Ugandans who are coming together to spread love of country, to fight corruption, to advocate for fairness, to advocate for accountability. General Muhoozi Rugaba as Chief of Defense Forces. We thank Lord for that.
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Now, more from our news tonight. Christians of Kasana Luwero Diocese have been tasked to be ambassadors of peace while executing their duties. This was said by the Katikiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Maiga, during the Easter prayers at Kasana Luwero Diocese during the Mass, which was also attended by the cultural, civil and church leaders.
The Katikiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Maiga, was welcomed by Monsignor Lawrence Mukasa, Ronald Mulondo, the Kanga of Bulemezi, and Christians. The Kangao reported to the Katikiro of people who challenged the prevailing peace in Bulemezi.
Tuli kunaku olw'amazuukira abassebo ne bannyabo naddala bataata abali wano. Nsaba tuzuukire wamu ne Mukama waffe Yesu Kristo mu bikolwa ne mu mwoyo ebikolwa eby'Bulemezi tubireke ku musaalaba.
In attendance was Ronald Ndaula, the former district chairperson Luwero, who revealed the good work of the diocese in the area.
Essaza lino erya Kasana Luwero litukoledde emirimu mingi egy'obuweereza ng'abantu ba Buganda, era wano w'otudde essomero lino erya primary, essomero lya UPE neryo erisinga era lyerimu kugasinga okukola mu Uganda yonna ku mutendero ogwo.
In the sermon, the Bishop of Kasana Luwero Diocese, Monsignor Lawrence Mukasa, asked the flock to consider Jesus as an example.
Kubanga muffe mulimu obwakatonda. Obwakatonda obwo buli muffe bwe busibwamu ekitiibwa bwe bugulumizibwa. Era ne banaaba balibanga batuziika mu bitibwa by'ekereziya ebijjuvu.
The Katikiro tasked Christians to be hardworking, reflecting the hardworking men of the king, Abami.
Mu Bulange ngamba Abami kangaawo na bano bakola nabo nti ekitiibwa ekiri mu bwami kabaka bwe yatuwa kiri mu ngeri gye tutuukiriza obuvunaanyizibwa obugendera ku kifo ekyo.
He later requested parliamentarians in attendance to reflect good example to the public.
Tuwulira bannabyabufuzi nga bawaanyisiganya ebisongovu
era ebigambo ebisinze okuba ebikaawu bibadde mu paalamenti eyo n'abagituulamu. Kirungi wano tulinawo basatu emirembe n'okuyamba abali mu bwetaavu.
I'm Benon Mokwaya in Luwero.
Mularira Festival or Mularira Faizo Umar, the Deputy Registrar Training of Judicial Training Institute, has condemned lazy lawyers, especially when it comes to serving their clients in terms of giving legal opinions. He urged them to work hard in order to represent the Muslim community and also inspire the young ones. He was speaking during the iftar dinner ceremony of the Uganda Muslim Lawyers Association, organized at the office of Kafero and Company Advocates here in Kampala.
Few days to the end of the holy month of Ramadan, the Uganda Muslim Lawyers Association, UMLAS, has organized iftar dinner to celebrate with its members as a sign of understanding each other, knowing each other, helping others, and seeing how they can take their religion forward.
Today, this Ramadan is a month of introspection, self-evaluation.
Former UMLAS President Isaac Kafero of Kafero and Company Advocates explained why they are organizing such an event.
Important as a get-together, okay, we benefit in knowing each other. 2, as a get-together. 3, also it helps us indirectly marketing the law firms. Okay, all the law firms shall be going to for iftar. We shall be checking on them. Where do they practice from? We encourage them, we assist them here and there.
UMLA's President Ali Kankaka tasked them to reflect on how they do their jobs.
The questions that we are posing to our members is, what is the nature of our legal practice? Are we really practicing the law in a manner that promotes the image and contributes to the well-being of the Muslim community and the country at large? Do we really prioritize the well-being of the people, access to justice as we do our work?
Deputy Registrar Training of the Judicial Training Institute, Mularira Faizo Umar, condemned lazy and sloppy lawyers who fail to serve their clients on legal opinions using social media such as WhatsApp to give them legal opinions.
Feedback is that you're so much of millennial people. You communicate legal opinions through a WhatsApp. Boss yakulekedde file amanyo akoma okusanga legal opinion gomuwereza ka WhatsApp. That man has no case. Actually, he has no sustainable cause of action.
However, he urged them to be hardworking in order to maintain standards and represent Muslim community.
Company advocates. You transcend beyond Kafir and company advocates and you become a brand ambassador for the Ummah. The way you carry yourself, the way you talk, the way you communicate, both body communication and verbal and written communication.
Benon Mokwaya, Jamil Sekaja, UBC Tonight.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting it. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
The government of Uganda and the Uganda Bureau of Statistics is calling upon all stakeholders such as the chief administrative officers, city mayors, resident city commissioners, city clerks, city and division councillors, wards and LC chairpersons, as well as the residents and business communities to cooperate with the UBOS field teams as we embark on advanced preparations to conduct the National Population and Housing Census on the 10th of May 2024. The census will be a 10-day exercise to obtain statistical data and information that will be used for planning and policy formulation, including information on 1. How many we are, 2. Where we are, 3. How we are living, 4. What we own, and 5. Where we access services from. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics has now started listing of households and mapping in the 11 cities of Arua, Fort Portal, Gulu, Hoima, Jinja, Lira, Mbale, Masaka, Mbarara, Soroti, and in the Greater Kampala comprising of Kampala, Wakiso, and Mukono districts. For more information, please call 0755 342 128 or 0773 342 128. This message is brought to you by the Executive Director and Census Commissioner, Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Census 2024. It matters to be counted.
Are you planning or in the process of traveling abroad for work? Using irregular channels to find and travel for work abroad often seems cheaper and faster, but you risk being trafficked, mistreated, or forced to do work you did not agree to. Using proper channels is safer, offers more protection, and better access to support services when problems arise. Do not be deceived. Choose the proper channels. Always verify all information before traveling abroad for work by contacting the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, your local district labour office or DSOS office. You can also visit EEMIS website on eemis.mglsd.go.ug. This message is brought to you by the International Labour Organization with support from the Government of Switzerland.
Attention everyone, the Ministry of Health has planned to vaccinate all persons aged 1 year to 60 years old to protect them against yellow fever disease. The mass vaccination will take place in 53 districts in these regions: Kampala, Buganda, Teso, Ankole and Karamoja. Vaccination is free and available at all government health facilities and outreach posts in these regions. The vaccination campaign will take place from April 2nd to April 8th, 2024. The vaccine is safe, effective and free of charge and has been approved by World Health Organization and Ministry of Health. This message is from Ministry of Health with support from Gavi.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. Koal District Council has passed a resolution to make the district a model for cocoa growing in northern Uganda. Now, close to 145 farmers in Lango sub-region are cultivating the crop that starts yielding after 2 years and is harvested twice annually. A farmer can earn about 13 million shillings per acre annually. And this story will share with us more details.
Last Thursday, Koal District councillors took a field trip to Trinity Mix Farm in Regurego Trading Centre in Dokolo District. This farm majors in cocoa growing. The district council resolved to have Koal become a model in cocoa growing in the region.
You are not adding value to these same people who should contribute. These people are contributing and they are very poor. Even they go back from the church, they don't eat. Now, where are we taking people? We need people to collectively, first of all, look at how we can all support ourselves and be relevant.
The district chairperson says the project will start with the councillors and scaled down to farmers.
You're going to be a transformation of Koal because people will see from you how you do it, how you get money coming to you, and people will begin to follow.
Each councillor is expected to prepare not less than 3 acres of land. The councillors supported the resolution, unlike other crops they have been growing.
Because of the price, that is what I admire.
And because it does well in barely most of the soil types that we have within the region. And we have also seen here in Dokolo, it's yielding and it's doing well. And now I compare with the land I have. Barely, I feel even my land is far better in terms of fertility. So it has given me that encouragement.
So where those ones have reached, they are not going to try.
Trinity Mixed Farm Manager said cocoa will be an identity crop for Langu sub-region.
Because one, it is a perennial crop. We already said it. You are going to harvest all through the year. Most of our farmers here grow seasonal crops. We are not telling people to abandon other things for cocoa. You do other things, cocoa comes in as a subsidy on what you're doing. If by any chance cocoa becomes the biggest income earner in your farm, the better. Because for it, the yield is there, the market is there, and even the price is good.
Thing with this type of people here.
A retired UN staff, now the clan chief, Fred Dogwaloye, is already reaping from this 6-acre cocoa farm.
Because actually you are planting trees. And imagine now if you are planting trees which are also giving you money. And internationally in the world they will know that you are also protecting the environment. Some money will come also through that. Please remember it.
Other than conserving the environment, cocoa is the 4th biggest export for Uganda, but produce on an estimated 20,000 acres across the country. Eddie Olwa, UBC News.
Now this one is not affected by the sun.
Now, the Workers' Union want government to fast-track the process of expediting the minimum wage bill in a bid to protect the workers' rights. This was during a central organization of Free Trade Unions annual delegates conference, during which a joint inspection of industries and related sectors by the Ministry of Labour and Workers' Union was recommended.
The Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Betty Among, has urged union leaders to fight for workers' rights for equitable and sustainable good working environment. During her address at the annual delegations conference for the Central Organization of Free Trade Unions.
Because the history of trade union is anchored on confronting government, confronting companies, confronting employers.
The minister was concerned with the continuous exploitation of workers. The minister, together with workers' unions, are set to have a joint tour to different manufacturing industries and other sectors to address the existing gaps for workers' rights and assess their working conditions.
When we come and have one voice and move together to those industrial parks, I want to find a day where the Secretary General not to cough to, the Chairman General cough to not to comes to me and say, we want to have a joint tour. So that when we reach there, they will not say, I'm waiting for the minister.
It includes things like where workers have accidents and other problems in terms of the environment. So we shall be looking at all these other standards of work, whether the ILO conventions are met and the standards are upheld.
Seeing all employers in Uganda to embrace and welcome unions. Even we were telling the minister that those workplaces that have denied us entry, we have already written to the ministry so that they should what? They should follow up what the reason, because we're even in the process of taking them to court. We have a court for the industrial court for the workers.
Union leaders also appeal to government to quicken the process of expediting the minimum wage bill, which was passed by Parliament.
Minimum wage is necessary. You must help as government on how someone can start negotiating. If you have more skills to negotiate for higher salary, but let's have a minimum set by government.
The Central Organization of Free Trade Unions, COF2, was founded in 2003 to advance, protect, promote and defend the social and economic interests of workers in Uganda. Sada Mubale, Clement Wangira, UBC News.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred $1, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hustle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja, a documentary film about our unity as Ugandans and Africans.
Bunyoro would have simply created an East African community that we are looking for today.
The rulers of Bunyoro are actually Luos.
We people who live across the Nile, we are so related from our myth or from just the Nile.
We are the same people and genetically we are even the same people.
We are similar people.
We are one.
Pamoja, we are one.
Use that word, pamoja.
Premiering every week from 3rd February to June 2024 at the National Theatre and Indere Center. Daily screenings are from 4th February to June 2024 at Ham Cinemax and the National Theatre. To get a ticket, call 0778 787 660. Tuko Pamoja?
Welcome back, and now in sports news, the Stanbic Uganda Golf Club monthly mug for the month of March held at the Uganda Golf Course was a kickstart for the Easter festivals. Over 400 golfers took part in this amateur tournament. Now, Drani Bob with a 68 net was the overall winner for the day-long event on the par 72 course, where he received a mug and a voucher. Other winners who got mugs were Israel Arinaitwe, Motesi Lydia, Dashobia Susan, Galjet Sai, and others, all receiving mugs. This is the second monthly mug for Uganda Golf Course under the new captain, Rukundo.
The mug of mugs in the history of golf. It is the bread and butter of any amateur golf club worldwide. Why do I say this? It's the only competition that you play 12 times in, actually 13 times, because you have the 12 mugs for the 12 months, then there is what they call a mug of mugs. All the winners come together to find out who was the overall winner of the mug of mugs. So the whole world knows that the monthly mug is the bread and butter of any club in terms of revenue, in terms of the game of golf, and in terms of the social side of the golf clubs. It is the thing that actually motivates most of the amateur golfers. Imagine this one, every month you have it, so everybody is motivated. And if you have never won a monthly mug, you don't talk among golfers that you have achieved much.
At Stanbic, we say Uganda is our home, we drive its growth. You can even say golf is our sport, we drive its growth in Uganda as well. So when I think about the work we do in Uganda and the support we give to the game of golf, it is to grow it to the next level.
It was fantastic to see all of you on the course today. I know many had some other commitments, but I thank all of you for staying behind. A very special thanks to Stanbic Bank, our sponsor. Their generous sponsorship is what makes this prestigious monthly mug very possible.
And that brings us to the end of our UBC News Tonight this Sunday, 31st of March 2024. My name is Wadulo Markanold, and thank you very much for having a time with us. See you this week.
My name is Kresa Milingabo with your weather. After 2 years, still having light thunder showers dominating most parts of the central and across other areas. Seeing the satellite picture, we're having moist winds coming from Congo air mass moving into our country in combination with the winds that are blowing from the Indian Ocean, continuing into our country, bring us those isolated showers we are seeing here and there within our countries. Tomorrow morning, we're waking up to a light showers within our district Kampala towards Masaka and around Lake Showers. Nakasongola moving the nearby area, they expect to wake up with a bright sunny day. Moving into the eastern, we are waking up to a sunny intervals. That's earlier, and moving the western stretch, we are waking up to a sunny interval still, continuing to the northern sector. After an hour, though, we are seeing a difference in weather, a pickup of light showers in the central part of Uganda at a maximum 29 degrees Celsius across Nakasongola, 28 in the remaining places, including the capital city, Kampala. Moving to the eastern, we are seeing light showers across Soroti at a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius, Jinja, Tororo, and the nearby areas with sunny intervals at the same temperatures. Moving to the western stretch, a continuation of light showers, parts of Kasese and parts of Kabale at the maximum 29 degrees Celsius in Kasese, 25 Kabale Mbarara with 28 sunny intervals, and Masindi with 29. Northern sector, we are seeing a pickup of light showers in afternoon hours at a maximum 30 degrees Celsius across Karamoja regions, Gulu Lila with 30 degrees with the sunny intervals, and Arua with a 29 and sunny intervals. Is moving out of Uganda, touring the few cities across the globe. We are forecasting light showers across parts of Nairobi at a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius, Dubai with 29 with sunny intervals, Cairo with sunny intervals at a maximum of 33 degrees. That is pretty hot that side of Cairo. London with light showers at a maximum 13 degrees Celsius. Thanks for tuning on UBC Plays. I hope you enjoyed your day. See you tomorrow.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.